Hello and welcome. And what do we have here? Well, we have that old little glider again that I've been uh, converting into radio controlled. I've got my two little servos in there now, and that all works nicely with the rudder and the elevator, or appears to anyway, with my very simple straws and streamline connections. We used to buy things called snakes, the purpose built, but I couldn't find any around there, so I use straws and literal strimmer line. But it works, it works. So yeah, it works. It wrong is I suppose. So I had to chop it at the back there of the wing to make way for the servo movement. But that doesn't matter. I know it's probably weak in the wing, but we will be strengthening that up as well because there's a section that we've removed, and that section has the pod. Yes, I've made the pods out of this piece of 2mm ply, and it's sandwiched between. I cut down the middle, not quite central as you can see, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Down the middle like so, and then glued it together. So that's made my pod. And these are just super glued on and filleted with super glue as well to make it stronger. And using Activate if I need to, so it doesn't run everywhere. And like I say, this super glue bar, it's by Eureka Glue, it's Cascamate super glue. And it seems pretty strong, all right? I've mounted the motor, okay? And it does all seem to work. Let me show you that bit first. That's what I'm going to do first. Let's turn the radio on. Always turn this transmitter on before you turn your receiver on. Just make sure that don't hit anything, because that'd be bad. All right, I've got to connect that to that on there. That should go beep, beep, beep. Get in there, you. Okay. I go beep, beep, beep. Right, so as you can see, if I have to stiffen the pod up, I will. With the thrust, it's pulling one way with the thrust a little bit, so I'll see how it goes first, all right? If I need to, I will. But what we're going to do in this video, we're going to mount the pod onto the wing itself, or we're going to try to. All right, this part, the wing and the pod will be connected together. And the idea is that this wing can then be slotted into there like so, and then I can hold the back end down, maybe with a rubber band and a dowel going right through. So it's going through the plywood as well, holding all that down tight, like so to speak. All right, that's the idea. But on this video, we're just going to attach that to that. So let's do it, shall we? Let's go onto the overhead camera. I keep making these videos too long, you see, so I'll be a bit more careful. Now, I've got to line the wing up first, right? There's a little black line there. That is actually the middle of the wings. You see, it's not central at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide it over so it looks, line up with that little flange at top there to that line there. All right, about there, right? I think what I'm going to also do, I might just get a little bit of tape. I'll do. Got some tape here, and we'll just put a few bits here and there just to stop it from moving. I think that's an idea. Otherwise, I'm likely to accidentally move it while I'm actually trying to glue it all together. So I'll do the same on the back here. Once I know that is in the right place, I think I'm happy there. So let's put a bit down here, also. All right, a bit down here. Like so. So it doesn't move while I'm trying to glue the pod into place. And I think really it makes sense to unplug this before I carry on and turn the transmitter off now. Alright, well, what the transmitter is, here's here. There it is. Alright, so we're going to glue this onto that. Let's unplug that out of there as well. At the receiver, so it's not quite so. I'm not sure yet. I might mount that on the side of here somehow, right? Or I might take it into the fuselage. You see, these can get warm, you see, these ESCs. There's a power. Basically, it converts the power from the battery and makes it variable speed on the actual prop itself. There's quite a bit of thrust on that. I think there's going to be plenty powerful enough. Someone said that, are you sure it's going to have enough power? I think it will. I'm fairly confident it will, actually. It's still not very heavy. None of this stuff I'm putting in the battery is very heavy. So I'm quite happy at that. I think what we need to do now is apply some super glue. I've got the super glue here, and I'm going to apply it to the only to the bottom across here. Tell you what, this is going to cause influence, so I'm going to get rid of these. I'm going to unplug these. That's going to cause me problems. Right, there you go. So effectively, I need to I'll make sure it's tight at the front. I don't mind what happens at the back if there's a gap at all, which there will be, because I'm planning on adding some additional strength at the back there. So I've got my super glue, all right, and I'm going to apply it to across there and there. Hopefully without it running everywhere. Hope without my wheelie chair moving back as I'm doing it, like it's doing right at the moment. It's not very helpful. Alright, I've got my super glue on there. Oh, God, it's dribbling the wrong way. Don't want that to dribble. I'm just trying to get a reasonable covering without melting anything. Super glue, sorry, now I shouldn't melt it anyway. Right, what I don't want to do is accidentally get it where I don't want it. Right, and then what I'm going to do now is a light coating of... I might not need to actually. I might leave that for the moment. Right. I'm talking about this accelerator. It's stronger without accelerator if you can do it. I really want this strong. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to squeeze that down onto there. Alright. Make sure it's lined up. That is. I'm going to iron it up with the nose while I'm doing it. I'm holding it for as long as I can. Say 30 seconds this stuff is. Whether it is or not, I don't know. I'm just trying to make sure it's attached to the wing itself. And I'll put a fillet down the side as well once I get to that stage to make sure of it. And that I will probably just put some activator so I don't make a mess. Is it sticking? I think so. Starting to stick. Right, once it's on there and it's stuck, I can now remove it from the fuselage. I think so anyway. So let's remove that from there. That from there. I think that's good there. Let's remove these over its tape as well. Because at the moment, its back end, you see, is a little bit floppy. Right. Because obviously I cut a big chunk out of it. And so I've got this weak point here. Across here. It's weak. So I'm going to reinforce that. Alright, so now I should be able to remove the wing with the pod attached, like so. Right, let's now go on to back onto the other camera. There we go. Right, so now we have the pod attached to the wing. So that's my plan. And I should have done this before I actually glued it on, actually. I'm going to drill a hole through it. You learn this, don't you? When you do it, oh, damn, now the wing's in the way. So I'm going to drill a hole right through there for a dowel to go right through. And I'm going to use a band like this one, or even two of them, to go around like a dowel. It's quite common in modern aeroplanes. We have rubber bands to hold the wings on. And so it's got to go around there like so, and then around the bottom of the fuselage and round onto the other side. And that'll hold the wing on. That is my idea, my plan anyway. But I want to reinforce this as well. Actually, that's crikey. So I'll have to stick that stuff, you know. So that's also replaced the strength that I've taken away from the bottom here by gluing that on there. And I'm just going to glue a fillet. Put a fillet of super glue down here. Let's make sure of it. I don't want that running through all over the bloody shop, so I'm going to put a little bit of activator, not too much. You put too much activator on, that'll just go white and horrible. And also get hot. Just a little bit on there, just to speed it up a little bit. That'll still be wet underneath, but that'll just speed it up. To make it a little bit stronger, doesn't it? And the same on the side. There's a lot of thrust on here, alright? And it's going to be pulling on that, isn't it? This will be held down at the back, and that's where the load is going to be, isn't it? That's where it's going to be pulling. So, maybe a little bit more activator. It's doing it. I don't want to overdo it because it goes white. Whoa, it's dribbling. It's a dribbling. Ah! Don't want it to dribble. I'll put a bit more there. See, the activator really sends it off really quickly. Yeah, that's alright now. That's doing it. Now I'll do the same on this side. Right, old miss. As I say, I'm not used to using these materials. I'm not confident with them. Like I said before, I like to use balsa wood, you know. But these are like £5, these little models. They thought, hang on, if I smash it out the remaining divs, a fiver, make another one. You know, it's fun, isn't it? You know. Actually, don't dribble anywhere I don't want it to dribble. Dribble, dribble, dribble. Yeah, that's doing it. That's good. So that is, well, that's secure. That really is. Yeah, I'm a bit worried about this twist, so I might end up adding another piece of timber in there on the side there, just to stop some of this twisting. Because that under that thrust from that prop, as you probably saw earlier, I was doing that a little bit, and that might cause problems. like oh no, why does it keep turning to the left? Yeah, we will find out that we will. Okay, so that's secured onto there. So my next plan now, which will be another video, is how we're going to secure the wing to the fuselage. I quite like that. That is actually pretty. It's going to be so this way because that's locked in the front here. All right. The only securing I've got to do is at the back end. So I only need one fixing now because I've done that. So we'll strengthen this back end a bit. There's a little bit of a gap there as well, which I don't know why there is because in the day, yeah, it shouldn't really be a gap there, but there is. Never mind. So now I've got to find a way of holding that down, which I think I'm going to put dowel through, right through, just so I can just use a band, all right, and then round to the other side. Now, the good thing about using a band to hold your wings on with is that if, for instance, you have a bit of a heavy hand, you get a heavy landing, and you hit the wing like so, all right, what happens is the band can give, and it just gives it a little bit of springing. You know, it's like having a little buffer. Right, look at that airplane up there. It's got rubber bands holding the wings on. It's nothing unusual about that. Otherwise, be a nylon screw you could use to hold it on there. But what for this? If I've put anything fixed, the likelihood is I'm going to have a heavy landing, especially on the first few flights, when we're kind of like trying to titillate it to make it fly better. Because in the day, I'm not confident about that. I have a bit too much flex there. And I'm also not too confident about that flex either. So that needs to be sorted out. And it does. Literally, the band around there and there will make a difference, to be honest. That'll help hold it all together. If it makes any sense. Yeah, that will. So, we'll come up with solutions. So, anyway, that's how I fix my pod. But I like button, will you? Toodaloo.